talk about money in South Africa, one of the realities is really about the fact that we are not great. We are not fantastic when it comes to saving, especially when we think about our golden years post, our formal employment. Today, I have invited Sisa from Nedbank Investments, who is going to give us some insights in terms of what is going on in the market and what we can do for us apparently who are starting to get gray. So what can we do to ensure that we have a habit of saving for our lives post-work? Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me, what have you observed in terms of people, say, who are approaching retirement in terms of saving? Like what are you seeing and what is going on, and what do you think is your biggest concern when it comes to those people?
I'm putting my face like that because I hate being the the prophetess of doom and gloom. Mm-hmm. But the harsh reality is that most South Africans are not ready to retire, even at retirement age. A lot of South Africans have to keep on working. They used to call it back in the day, I'm sure Yayazi, moonlighting. A lot of them are moonlighting of finding side hustles or having to find a way to generate income, because essentially we're outliving our savings. And the thing is, with retirement savings, any kind of saving or investment, time is your ally. And unless you're aware of that and you absolutely focus, you kind of lose out. And I understand we're under distress and we're under strain financially, especially as the middle class in South Africa, with rising food prices, kids that are staying longer at home, unemployment and all of that. But this two-part system, I mean, I don't think the person or the people who've been saving are the ones who won from these withdrawals, right? And I mean, we saw them shoot through the roof, and the taxes on that. So is it really worth it? So I think it's very important to build a lifestyle, or I call it a psychology of saving, to pay your future self and delay gratification to a certain extent, because ultimately your earning years, when you are, especially when you're formally employed, I think we get quite comfortable around getting a salary on the 25th or the 20th, the 15th or the 1st. And you kind of forget that road does run out.
Say if I'm 50, okay, unless I'm 50, I am...
Is that an if or
55, listen, I'm not there yet. I'm still a youth.
Youth and dollar.
So what I want to know is, say, what can someone who is in their 40s, right, versus someone's in their 50s do now? Because maybe they're feeling that, okay, what's the point? This is how I've been living, and I have given up on the fact that I will have a decent pot, to save for the future. Like, what steps can I take now?
So firstly, it's never too late, right? I know people say that and it sounds all fuzzy-wuzzy, but it's never too late to start saving. It's never too late to change your mindset about your money. And unless you really can afford it, change your mindset around the bottle life, the champagne life. Instead of your money pouring, I always say, while you're sleeping, your money's got to be working. Depending on your risk appetite, obviously, and your age, you should find the right kind of saving and investment system for you. And when we speak to people over the age of 55, which are considered seniors, believe it or not. I know some very good-looking 55-year-olds and who are up in the gym, and they're fit. So we're saying, okay, let's align that with being money fit, right? Mm-hmm. And say to you, if you do have a lump sum, put it away. I mean, we've got best in market rates around our fixed deposits. And you know that...
And what's that rate?
Currently, it's 10.47.
And that's the highest in the market right
That is
now.
Currently the best in the market,
okay.
Correct. Right? It's up to 10.5. Okay. I have to say that part, or compliance is going to whack me.
Okay.
So it's up to, but essentially, if you've got money that you can put away, yes, and you're either interested in living off the interest or letting the interest compound, take that money now and put it away. I think it's very important to also assess your risk and your risk appetite and the time that you have. So let's say at 40, Hey, 40-year-olds, I just joined the fourth floor.
Hey,
So at 40, at 40, you might have a little bit more appetite for risk. So you might want to be a little bit more aggressive and put your money elsewhere. But I think when you're approaching retirement, you want to kind of be a little bit less risky and more risk averse. And you want to put your money in a position where it's going to grow and there's no kind of chance of your capital being reduced. So that's the beauty of a fixed deposit. If you have 500,000 and you put it in there, you will never get out less than 500,000. It's not a Ponzi scheme. It's not a hey, it's crypto. And then next year it's $1 million, or in 2 months time and it's $1 million. No, it's steady growth.
Yeah.
And you can live off your interest, or like I say, you can reinvest it and really let time be your ally. So if you're 55 and you've got some money, you can put it away. I mean, you can put away a minimum of 1,000 Rand to whatever it is you want to put in. And you can earn up to 10.47%. Which is really best in market at that age. And protect your money. Like I said, make sure your money is working while you're sleeping. And you know that when you can't earn more money, you've got money that is put away that's either going to mature and pay out. And I do say when it does pay out, do the necessary and put it back. So that you can continuously have money that's growing and that you can live off of. And really, maybe you want to leave a legacy. Maybe you've got grandkids. I know my mom became a grandmother, shame, poor thing, 2 years ago. It took her a while. She was like, the whole time, what are you doing? And now she's finally a grandmother and she cares nothing about me.
Yes.
Whatever she does, she wants to buy something for her grandchild. She wants to connect with her granddaughter. So I know my mother wants to leave a legacy. Not for me, because she don't care about me no more. She's like, I'm done with you, girl. And all her focus is on her grandchild. So I think there's so many nuances in South Africa, right, in terms of just the diversity of our population. So we've got different things that we kind of need to do or want to do for the ones we leave behind. And I think that should also be part of your thinking around your legacy and what legacy you want to live. Do you want to leave a bill or a will? You know what I mean? So,
you know, my mother, Elokshini, she's been hinting, Ubai, Dlanga, ndifuna extend the indlu.
yeah.
Okay. And instead of putting that money in, you know, to grow, I use some of that money to extend the income. What is the wise thing to do at that point? To say, no, mother, let this money gain some compound interest. Or yes, mother, I will extend your house.
So, you know, there's the 50-30-20 rule, right? Which is it's not very scientific, but I think it's kind of a guiding principle where 50% of your earnings should go to your needs, right? Your basic needs, housing, food, all of that, bills, etc. 30% to your wants, and 20% to your savings. Because ultimately, we're human. Everyone has that one thing. Maybe for you it's a sneaker, someone else is to travel, someone else. And I always say travel for me is an education. So it's somewhat of an investment. And maybe this is what I tell myself so that I can go anywhere, anytime, right? Mm-hmm. But your mom might be, I go in the big windows. You know what I mean? And she's been working so hard for it. But I always say that if a big window is going to clear up all your savings, is it really worth it to see the world with all those big windows? But if you know that you have a portion to put towards your house, which is also an investment, and it's a long-term investment, and it speaks to the legacy that we're talking about, right? Because ultimately, whether it's you and your siblings or her grandkids that inherit that house, it is a legacy that you leave behind, or she can sell it and still make money out of it. So I would say to Mama, yes, but at least... smaller windows, or at least 50% needs to go into something, and a savings or investment account that can give you interest. And guys, I say this a lot. I'm sure people are like, yeah, we heard you. Interest to live off of is a powerful thing. It is a powerful, powerful thing to think that you can get to a position where you don't even have to touch your capital and you're out here living on your interest because you don't have bills and you've paid down your bills. And I would rather say to Mama, take a little bit of this money. Yes, do the thing that you want to do rather than go and take out debt on it, because you don't have time. You don't have time to be paying interest rates that are high. Rather, make sure that the interest that is in your portfolio is what you're earning rather than what you're paying.
Mm-hmm. Can you say a little bit about compound interest? And I think it's one subject that a lot of people, they hear about, but they don't really truly grasp, and the benefits of that.
So compound interest, I would say, is like a branch that grows from a tree every single time you water it. You know the old age saying that the best time to plant a tree was 25 years ago. The next best time is today. So if Tina Youth and Dala, we start right now, in 15 years' time, consider the amount of money that you will have compared to what you have today. Mm-hmm. Because money that is chilling in your check account is losing value. And under your mattress is even worse, because please, guys, okay, we've seen things happen out here. oh, with the body and all of that. I think your money has to be working. 100 Rand today is not 100 Rand tomorrow. Definitely not in 5 years.
Do you think that we should be dogmatic? So what I mean by that is have such a dogmatic sense where you say, come hell or high water, I will put in 15% or 10% or 20% into this account, no matter what happens.
I would call it purposeful. We need to have that vision in mind. And we talk about vision boards and we talk about writing things down. And I think that needs to be part of your lifetime plan or your 20-year plan, right? Because we have short-term, medium-term goals, etc. And I think the only way to be that dogmatic is to make savings easy for yourself and investing easy for yourself. Automate it. You can literally set up a stop order into, accounts. There are various savings vehicles. One of my favorite is the tax-free savings, right? And you can deposit up to 36,000 Rand a year in a tax-free savings, and whatever you earn will come out tax-free. Another very huge favorite of mine is a fixed deposit. Like the Nedbank Optimum Plus right now, you put in money, you will never lose the money that you put in. You will always make money. All you're doing is just earning annual interest, and you can automate it.
It's so funny because it's a very interesting subject. And I now realize why, like they say that in the Bible, Jesus talks about money more than he talks about anything else, which is, I was very surprised to hear that kind 100%. Of thing. So would you then say, for example, let's say, because of my very beautiful face, right, I get some brand decides to endorse me and then it's like, okay, yeah, we'll give you so many thousands of rands, okay? And first of all, that income I was not expecting. So I suddenly have this additional income. What would you suggest I do with that money?
For as long as you don't know what to do with money, it's going to disappear. You're going to be an I Blew It member.
A fool, what does this thing? A fool and his money are soon parted.
Exactly. You just really need to save your money from yourself. And I know there's a lot of bills, guys. So, if you do have a lot of debt and you're obviously paying more interest, clean out your debt so that you are more free to put money away in terms of savings the younger you are. But when you are approaching your golden years, you really do need to have a quick pivot and a solid pivot plan, and really think about being intentional about your savings. People are always going to need money. No one else is coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've all got this, I don't know,
you are on your
looking out there for someone to come and save you financially, and maybe we have a financial father figure somewhere. But I'm just like, no one else is coming, and no one owes your future what you owe your future.
The reason maybe we spend money when we know we shouldn't is the boredom factor, right? So it's the lack of community. And I think if we had more community around us more often and more frequently, and valued interactions with other humans, right, face to face, and not those quick interactions online, put down your phone and scroll to see what other people are doing, what they're wearing, what holidays they're going to.
Yeah.
Are they flying first class? Then now feel pressure to fly
Yo.
first class. It's like,
It's like a chokehold. You need to post a picture in business class, even if you're just walking quickly, take a picture.
You know what I do? What I've started doing? Like literally what I've started doing now is like when I'm flying, I will post there. I'm in cattle class at the back. Post there's my
for economy.
Like 23. What? No, I mean, I'm like, if I'm flying overseas, it's like 653 F.
Like sitting on the engine.
I'm sitting there on the engine, like because I think that it should be okay, right? Yeah. And I think it's this pressure that people kind of put themselves on for no reason. Whereas I think the pressure you really should be applying is trying to make sure that you are securing a fairly comfortable future. When I was a little bit, I just started working and I started doing this thing where I literally would lunch, how much I'd write it down. This is how much money I spent for lunch today. This is how much money I spent taking the train. And it was incredible how conscious I became about the money when I started doing it.
That concept is still valid. We call it budgeting.
Yeah.
The B word.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, And the mental accounting when it comes to budgeting doesn't work. Exactly what you did. That principle. Whether you do it on an app or a spreadsheet or you're writing it down like Khaya did, that is exactly the principle that you still need to apply. Because if you don't know how much is coming in versus how much is going out, you are in trouble.
But don't you think that you guys, and when I say you guys, all you banks and all of that, that you have trapped us? Because all we do now, because I see Boni Imalingo, you just tap, go.
No. I completely disagree with that. And I'll speak for Nedbank, not any other bank. For instance, on the Nedbank Money app, we have money management tools. We call the tool My Smart Money. In there, you can see how much money is going off, how much money you left over with how much money still needs to go off your account this month versus what's in your account, right? You're able to see your credit score, for instance, and you get tips on how to improve your credit score for when you do need credit. When you're thinking about buying a home, you obviously don't want to be that red zone client, or yellow zone client who's going to get a higher interest rate. Nobody wants that. Or get declined completely. When you do want that good debt, you want to be able to, or even if something happens and you need a personal loan, you want to be able to access some kind of funding if you don't have an emergency savings, which is also very important. Because if you do have an emergency savings, you don't get into unnecessary debt and you don't have to pay additional interest, right? But I think we just need to be more intentional. We need to, I call money such a serious thing, and I try and demystify it quite as much as possible, because also banks is like, dog, you're telling me about percentage of interest rate. What does this mean? All this jargon, all of these things, right? And I always try and say, Yazindon, think about your kitty box. If you keep taking out those coins and there's nothing coming in, your kitty box is empty. And remember how we used to guard our kitty boxes?
Yeah, yes.
We used to guard them because you could see the money. I think we just need to be that intentional with understanding how much we're spending. And I think a lot of banks have put in a lot of technology to enable clients to go and view your money pretty quickly. Obviously, protect your cell phone, or if you do, you end up doing online banking, etc. But make it a habit to know how much is in your account.
Don't I think?
Make it a habit.
Don't I think like a bank should do? I think it's freaking great, right? Why are you laughing?
Because I know it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be like,
you're probably gonna be like, you've reached your limit. No more money.
No. When you tap, it's like, I sure want to do that. I sure want to buy this. Really, there's so much.
But you know what? What actually helps you with that, right? Is possibly putting your money in a 24-hour notice. Have some money in 24-hour notice, because in an emergency, right?
What do you mean put in?
Where you need to put in notice for at least 24 hours.
Okay.
So then you know if you need it or if you want to need it.
I just want to.
Right?
Okay.
And you know that you're still earning interest.
Actually, what are your terms for a fixed deposit?
Anything from 1 month upwards. So it's 1 to 60 months.
1 to 60 months.
Yes.
All right.
Saving is a psychology. If you
Yeah, it
think
is.
about our grandmothers in townships when there was masngcwabane, which is like a funeral burial scheme for the community, it did not matter how much or how little they had. Every month that money went out. It did not matter how much. There's money that goes into a stokvel for groceries at the end of the year, a little. And I've seen people who earn hundreds of thousands of rands literally borrow from Paul to pay Peter.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a psychology. It cannot be about the money. And unless you have that psychology entrenched, it does not matter how much money you've got.
How do you train this muscle, right? Because it feels to me like training the psychology to be money fit. How do you train this money muscle? Because, like let's say if someone who's never been to gym, right? You're not going to tell them to, run 5Ks, straight away. You're not going to tell them, okay, go swim like 5 laps or, pick up 500 kilograms. They have to start somewhere.
So mentally, first, you have to prepare for it and decide. That is the most powerful thing. You need to decide to want a better life for yourself. You need to want to decide to put your money away and then make it easy for yourself. Set the alarm. Set the transaction that's going to go into your investment or savings account. Don't let saving be the last thing that you do or investing be the last thing you do at the end of the month. Because in that way, there will always be more month at the end of the money.
Instead, it should be?
It should be the first. It has to be the first. It has to be the first thing that you do, right up there with paying your bond and paying your, or your rent or whatever. Think about it as paying the Khaya of the future, because that's exactly what you're doing. You're paying Khaya tomorrow.
Paying your future self.
100%.
That's a bar. There's also the idea that, you know what, I think there'll be more money coming in somewhere, right? You'll be waiting for that money. Something bigger. Oh, I'll get a promotion. But then when the promotion comes, you spend more.
Exactly.
Right? You're not...
Exactly.
You're
Instead
not,
of increasing your savings, no, you don't increase the savings. You increase the lifestyle.
Exactly.
I don't believe in the word nisha. Okay?
No, I agree.
Don't niche yourself, hey?
Yes.
Like, don't niche yourself, because also you work hard. So have a comfortable life, have a comfortable home. I think we all saw the importance of having a comfortable home when COVID hit and we couldn't go anywhere. You're like, I'm out of this couch. Why? I remember a friend of mine was like, winding and I headboard. Now I'm sitting here, I'm reading, and Chama na headboard. I'm like, yeah. This is why you need a headboard. And literally, when shops opened again, that's the first thing she bought. She's like, I can't not have a headboard,
funny.
And so I believe in having a comfortable home, a comfortable life. And you want to have, if cars are your thing, you want to have a comfortable car and all of that. But I always, and it goes back to the 50-30-20 principle. If you're spending all on your car, that's an asset, but it's a depreciating one. And not on your future self, then the chickens will come home to roost. If I can leave anyone with anything, make it easy for yourself. Don't get involved. Take away the cognitive engagement of saying, I have to put this money away every month, and set up that repayment. Set up your fixed deposit reinvestment, etc. So take out the cognitive engagement so that you don't forget, so that you're not in a situation where you can access that money.
And the conversations about money are very sobering.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Especially when you think about them very consciously, because like it's very personal.
If people say money is not personal, I say, okay, you're right. How much do you earn? Many people can't answer, and some people don't even know how much they earn, by the way. But many people don't want to answer it because it is that personal.
Yes.
So if it's that personal and that important to you, why are you not protecting it? If you're not guarding your money, you're going to have issues in life.
I may not be telling everybody what I'm doing with my money.
Yeah.
Or how I feel like, hey, maybe I shouldn't have bought that bottle at the club.
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't have, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that happens.
Yeah.
I mean,
it happens.
I remember like being a...
Forgive yourself.
I remember being a single fella. going out on the streets, you're there, you're
And the streets are expensive.
and you are there, and then you buy, you buy one bottle, you buy another bottle, next thing and then on Monday, you're like, was it really necessary for me to spend all this money? Like, did I have to?
But think about it. If you had future-proofed that money or protected it from yourself so that as it lands, it leaves your account and goes into an investment, would you have even been able to?
No.
You wouldn't have.
I wouldn't have done that. But also, was like, let me tell you another thing. Like how much money I saved from
Settling down.
No. I'm talking about, like, I remember going on dates. It is expensive, right? Because you're going on this, then it's like
it's an interview, an expensive
you're
interview,
single, right? So you're there. I mean, it's
what's
like,
your favorite color?
It's a great steak. Then there is the starters. Then there's the mains. And maybe a bottle of wine, and then you're having a good time. There's like, hey, let's go to second location. Now second location, it's bottles, and then there's tequilas, and awesome crew. Oh, that was so awesome. And then you don't meet the person again. Okay, you meet them maybe once more, twice, and then 2 days later you're meeting someone else who's doing the same, spending so much money, right? Because you haven't planned around the money. You've just spent, I think, effort around, a temporary self-gratification.
Absolutely. So again, discipline is true freedom.
Yeah. So tell me about the people who are on their way,
age next birthday.
Yeah, their next golden birthday. What do they have? Like, what's available for them? And what I especially want to focus on is the fact that no one should think that it's too late for me to do anything
100%,
right now.
100%. So I'd say if you're a senior, and by senior, unfortunately, this is not my definition by any means, so please don't come for me. It's not me. 55 and above, wherever you are in that life stage, in that period, Nedbank makes it easy for you to put money away in a, like I said, Optimum Plus fixed deposit. I think a 60-month is a great place to put your money. If you don't, like I said, if you don't need the interest, let it sit and compound. And if you do, you at least have money to live off of, depending also on your life stage. I do believe that you shouldn't put your eggs in one basket. So you do need emergency savings. Because people think, oh, if I put this money away for 5 years, what am I going to do if something happens? And really, what are you going to do, right? You might not have enough interest that you're living off of to cover your medical expenses or an emergency, whatever. So I think you also need to obviously have an emergency pot and hopefully some kind of income generating assets. And if you're also, I always say, just because you're retired doesn't mean you don't have skills. You don't have skills. And if you're approaching retirement, this is the time to really think and plan what you're going to do with the next 20 years, because age expectancy has actually gone up. Yeah. I think we were sitting at about 63, 64 2 years ago, and now age expectancy is like 69. But I know many people who are way older than 69. Right? And most people don't even have enough money that they retire with at 60 to get them to 61 or 62.
Wow.
So think about the fact that money is not an ally if you don't make it an ally and you don't make it work for you. Money is what you decide to make it. It's a tool. And let it be a tool for your freedom in your golden years. And also think about what it is you can do while you can still do things. So you can also keep active, and stay happy, and also feel relevant.
Yeah.
But when you can't earn any kind of income, you also need to think about that. So put money away as little as, like I said, you can open up a fixed deposit from as little as 1,000 Rand. You can open a 24-hour notice from as little as 500 Rand with Nedbank on the Nedbank Money app. You don't even have to leave your house. You can do it within 2 minutes, sitting on your couch. And if you do need assistance, we do have contact centers, we do have branches where you can walk into. But I really do believe that there are ways to help yourself You just need to be very conscious, and you need to be pragmatic, and you need to be intentional.
Yeah, I when you're talking about retirement, I'm thinking about how long lived a lot of my family members have been.
Right.
I think about, my grandfather, he was 89, and I think about his sister who was like 96.
Exactly.
Then another one of their sisters who was 108. And
goodness.
and then when I think about how long everyone has lived, then you have to start thinking about advances in health.
100%.
Right? So how much longer could you possibly live, and can you live for that long if you continue?
Comfortably.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you continue spending your money the way you're spending it today.
100%. And I can't believe I'm going to quote this from this movie. I won't even say the movie because everyone's going to judge me. But poverty is expensive, guys. Poverty is expensive. And getting older isn't easy. So you don't want to add levels of depression and anxiety, and especially around money.
Yeah.
And I think if you've worked hard enough, and if you've worked all your life, essentially, make sure that you can rest in your older years when you do have to rest, and you can live up to 80 and 80 and 90 and still have an income. So do yourself that favor and future-proof your life.
Thank you, Sisa from Nedbank, and all the solutions that I think that you have offered here, and you have given a lot of people a lot to think about. And even if, for me, right, I think that even if 5% or
100%.
10% of the people who listen to this conversation make a change, that will have an unbelievable future repercussions, I think, for them
100%.
in the future.
We talk about generational curses a lot in life. I think we can also really create generational blessings.
I love that.
Thank you for this conversation. It is one that's very close to my heart.
No, thank you. I'll save a bit more.